chicken and dumplings," John said. "I get enough beef every day. How about you, Sonny?" "I'll take the chicken, too," he replied, his eyes never having left the saucy waitress. Noticing it, John couldn't resist japing him some more. "How about Sonny here? He ain't married, and he's got a steady job." She chuckled delightedly and reached over to tweak Sonny's cheek. "You're awful sweet, but still a little young. I'll keep my eye on you, though." She went to the kitchen to get their food, leaving the blushing young ranch hand to recover. "She's something, ain't she?" John asked after seeing Sonny's embarrassment. "Can't take a thing she says seriously." He thought at once of Perley, who had made that mistake and suffered his disappointment. Further thoughts on the subject were interrupted when Becky Morris came in from the kitchen. "Afternoon, John," Becky greeted him. "Lucy said you were here." She greeted Sonny as well, but she didn't know his name. "It's been a while since any of the Triple G men have stopped in. Perley used to come by every time he was in town, but I haven't seen him in a long time now. Is he all right?" "Perley's been gone for a good while now," John answered. "I just got a telegram from him this morning from Dakota Territory. Said he's on his way home." "Oh, well, maybe he'll come in and see us when he gets back," Becky said. "I'm sure he will." John couldn't help wondering if Perley had taken proper notice of Becky Morris. Shy and gentle, unlike Lucy Tate, Becky looked more the woman a man should invest his life with. He might be wrong, but John suspected he detected a wistful tone in her voice when she asked about Perley. Before they were finished, Beulah Walsh came out to visit. John assured her that her reputation as a cook was still deserved as far as he was concerned. He paid for his and Sonny's meal and got up to leave. "We've got to stop by Patton's before we go back to the ranch. Sonny's got to have a shot of that rot-gut whiskey before he leaves town." "I never said that," Sonny insisted. "You were the one that said we'd go to the saloon." "Don't let him bother you, sweetie," Lucy said and gave him another tweak on his cheek. "I know how you heavy drinkers need a little shooter after you eat." "What did you tell her that for?" Sonny asked as soon as they were outside. "Now she thinks I'm a drunk." "I doubt it," John replied. Moving back down the short street to Patton's saloon, they tied the horses to the rail and went inside. Benny Grimes, the bartender, called out a "howdy" as soon as they walked in the door. "John Gates, I swear I thought you might have gave up drinking for good." "How do, Benny?" John greeted him. "Might as well have. We ain't had much time to get into town lately. Ain't that right, Sonny?" "That's a fact." Sonny agreed and picked up the shot glass Benny slid over to him. He raised it, turned toward John, and said, "Here's hoping Perley has a safe trip home." He downed it with a quick toss, anxious to get it over with. He was not a drinker by habit, and took a drink of whiskey now and then only to avoid having to explain why he didn't care for it. "Well, I'll sure drink to that," John said, and raised his glass. "Me too." Benny poured himself one. After they tossed the whiskey down, he asked, "Where is he?" "Way up in Dakota Territory," John said. "And we just got word he's on his way home, so we need to let the folks hear the news." He had one more drink, then he and Sonny headed back to the Triple G. The man John Gates had wished a safe trip home earlier in the day was seated a few yards from a crystal-clear waterfall. It was a good bit off the trail he had been following, but he'd had a feeling the busy stream he had crossed might lead to a waterfall. As high up as he was on the mountain, it stood to reason the stream would soon come to a cliff. It pleased him to find out he had been right, and it had been worth his while to have seen it. It was a trait that Perley Gates had undoubtedly inherited from his grandfather, an obsession for seeing what might lie on the other side of the mountain. And it was the reason he found himself in the Black Hills of Dakota Territory on this late summer day. That and the fact that he was not married and his brothers were. It didn't matter if he rode all the way.